Hello everybody, how you doing again? Mikey's back. I have a review. A few days ago I did some voting. Uh, Put up 4 different dips that I got the results in. I reviewed the Grizzly Dark Select. Uh, that was the winner by 2 votes. The runner up, let's get into it. We have Grizzly Extra Long Cut Natural. I didn't even know they made an extra long cut natural. Only extra long cut natural I was aware of was Copenhagen, which I love. That's one of the few cans which I have bought a repeat of so far. I got a lot of cans of dip open. I'm working my way through what I got before I start buying repeats. Most of my energy right now is focused on finding new stuff to try for the first time and record it as I do that. So let's get into it. This is made by U.S. Snuff Company. It is oh, 90% domestic, 10% imported. So, much like the Levi Garrett that I tried yesterday, not 100% American grown tobacco, but 90%. Eh. Opens up pretty easy. Crack open the tin for you. There's the obligatory lid shot. And yeah, some of my pieces there are nice and long. Ooh, catching a nice aroma off the can right away. It smells similar to the Copenhagen, but slightly different. They're using a slightly different blend of tobaccos. Nice, rich, dark fire tobacco aroma. I'm liking it. Alrighty. Let's see. We tried to pack a full can. Doesn't do a bit of good. I just wanted to check and see. Feels like it's got a decent moisture content here. Fairly good there. Get you an idea what the cut's looking like when it's been roughed up a little bit. Wipe off my shirt. Wipe off my fingers. So touch on the drier side. So I'm hanging on my hat. There we go. Touch on the dry side. It actually feels a little bit drier than Skull. Let it juice up here for a minute. I'm getting the salt right away. I took kind of a big pinch too, so might take it a minute. Yeah, yesterday's Levi Garrett. Levi Garrett tasted great, but man, that kicked my butt. But I didn't dip for the rest of the day. I emptied out my first bag of Stoker's Red Supreme. I used chewing tobacco for the rest of the day because the thought of having any more nicotine in my system just was not appealing. So, yeah. Mikey's a lightweight when it comes to nicotine. I like average, maybe a little bit on the higher side of average. Average. Darn hiccups come back again. I'm pretty sure the hiccups are for when I disrupt my breathing while I'm putting the dip in. I don't know if I'm swallowing some air or if my body just or if my body just doesn't like the way I hold my breath or something while I'm cramming stuff in my mouth. I don't know. Yesterday's Levi Garrett, no hiccups. I got dizzy. Go back and watch that review. You'll see me get dizzy on camera. I'm staring at the camera here, and it starts to get a little blurry on me, and my head's like, yeah, that was fun. Yeah. This is juicing up nicely now. Salty, catching some dark fire tobacco. There's a little something else going on in there too. Hmm. This tobacco, the flavor of this tobacco is it's different. Whatever they did to this blend, it gives it a little extra in the background there. I'm liking it. You know, the salt level is tolerable. It's not overboard. The dark fired smokiness is very light. I'm not catching a whole lot of that back in there. A little bit of sweetness from the tobacco, a hint of bitterness, and I can't quite peg what that other little something back in there. It's probably something to do with how they blended this tobacco or aged it or something. It was giving a bit of a unique characteristic that says natural, but it says it's natural Grizzly style. So, this is pretty good stuff. It's, ooh, got a little blast of salt right there. That kicked in pretty good. Can't speak for nicotine yet. I'm not feeling anything. Thank goodness. So I know the dark fire, it had nicotine content. I could feel it, but it wasn't kicking my butt. So it was a nice, it had a nice dose of nicotine in there, but it wasn't kicking my butt, which I appreciate. I got a feeling this is going to be in that same ballpark. So, yeah, maybe it's the sweet and the bitterness playing off of each other in the background was what I'm detecting. Because every now and then I get a little bit of sweetness from the tobacco, and then I get a little bit of bitterness, which is also from the tobacco. Some tobaccos have a natural sugar content, which gives them a sweet type flavor. Other tobaccos are less of a sugar content, and that's where you'll get your slightly bitter notes. Um, Wild tobacco tends to be on the bitter side. It's more like the Virginias and stuff like that that tend to have a sweeter note to them. If you've smoked pipes at all or been around pipe tobacco, Virginia flake tobaccos come across as very sweet. But yeah, it's juicing up nicely now, getting really good flavor development. Really good flavor development. If you like naturals, try and find some of this. I was kind of surprised to find it, and it was in date too. Um, November of 24 is when this is Best Buy, and we're just now getting in November, so we're good. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the American Snuff Company, but if it's not a wintergreen, it's usually out of date. So, Grizzly and Kodiak wintergreen, no problem in my area. I can find them in date any day, every day. Cougar products are a little hit and miss. The Cougar wintergreen, I'm finding more of that in date than I am out of date. A lot of guys are catching on that Cougar has a really good wintergreen flavor. Um, I don't see the naturals too often. Most of them are way out of date. I got lucky with this one. I'm trying to remember where I found this one. It was in a convenience store somewhere in Coos County, Oregon. Oh, that's all I remember. So I hit so many of them looking for new stuff. Oh, okay. Now I'm feeling some nicotine. Now the nicotine's starting to come forward. It's not kicking my butt, but it's saying, "Hi, I'm there. This is nicotine. Welcome to the party." So yeah, it does have. It does have. I'll say it's on the upper end of moderate nicotine. What I'm feeling so far. But yeah. Ooh, another blast of salt. Coughing helped, I guess. Yeah, I forgot completely what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I'm experimenting with making my own dipping tobacco. Um, it's not true dipping tobacco because there's no dark fired tobacco in it. I bought a bag of pipe tobacco, aka roll your own cigarette tobacco. Found some stuff that's supposed to be all natural, not supposed to have any humectants or any weird stuff added to it. There's a couple of forums out there that have a wealth of information if you're interested in making your own. I watched a couple of YouTube videos, read some of the recipes on the forums, and I went for it. It's downstairs. It's resting right now. I'm going to give it probably a week to rest and develop. I added alkalizers late last night. It still has a faint odor of ammonia to it because it's still off gassing from the freebasing of the nicotine with the alkalizer. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I'm expecting a very mild, mellow dip tobacco. I'm not sure what I'm going to flavor it with right now. I might leave some natural. I'll split it into thirds, I think. One natural, one. I got some various flavorings around here. I'll just try one for another, and see what happens. But yeah, I'm digging this natural. This is comparable, very not completely Copenhagen extra long cut natural. The flavor is slightly different, but it's still in that same wheelhouse. So yeah, if you can't find Copenhagen extra long cut natural and you want something with a little bit more nicotine, you might give this a shot. This has more nicotine, I can tell right now. Flavor is slightly different, but it's very similar. It's just the blend of tobaccos they use, whatever they're putting in there. I'm not getting a whole lot of smokiness off of it, a little bit in the background, but the sweet and the bitter, the sweet, the bitter, the smoky, the salty, they're all doing a little old happy dance in my mouth right now. This is holding together extremely well, which is one thing I appreciate for the extra long cuts. Um, if you're a newbie, go for Stoker's, an extra long cut natural. Skull holds together pretty well as you know. Copenhagen does a decent job, but while you're getting used to the nicotine, Stoker's and Skull, they're average nicotine strength. A lot of guys complain that they're low nicotine strength. They're actually fairly average, except for the fruit blends. The fruit blends are really low, but everything else, from what I've been able to look up, they're kind of middle of the road nicotine strength wise. So that's probably a good place to start. And then as you build up a tolerance, or you want to, if that nicotine strength isn't doing it for you, try Copenhagen, then move on to the Grizzly, Kodiak, Cougar. Grizzly, Kodiak, and Cougar are very high in nicotine, as is the Levi Garrett. Um, Other than that, I would suggest starting out with Stoker's or Skull. Um, they're easy to pack, they hold together well, um, moderate, average nicotine strength. Some of them are on the lower end of average, some are on the upper end, but it's a good place to start if you're just getting started out. Chewing tobacco, it don't matter. It really doesn't. Chewing tobacco has extremely low nicotine. They add very little alkalizer to it, if any at all. So you're just getting the natural tobacco leaves that have been sprayed, dipped, soaked in whatever flavoring they decide to put into it, according to their super secret recipes. So, yeah, you're safe with chewing tobacco. Um, Dipping tobacco, Skull, Stoker's, and if you want to get up into the stuff that has a slightly higher nicotine content, some of the Copenhagens, and if you want to go hardcore, Grizzly, Kodiak, and Cougar. I'm not sure of the nicotine strength on the budget brands. Most of them that I've tried, they're average as well, low to average. So I haven't really found any documentation online that kind of gives nicotine levels on the budget brands. So I'm not entirely certain. And most of the information I'm finding on the regular brands is anywhere from 5 to 15 years old. So, they may have changed their formulas over the years. I'm not certain. If you find yourself liking natural tobacco, definitely check this one out. The Copenhagen Long Cut Natural and the Grizzly Extra Long Cut Natural. Grizzly here does have more nicotine. I will give them that. The flavor is really good. It's slightly different from the Copenhagen. They use a different blend of tobaccos. This has some imported tobacco. That's probably accounting for the difference in the flavors. It's not quite as smoky as the Copenhagen. It's light on the smokiness as well. But all those flavors are well balanced. This is a very good, well balanced natural. I'm going to finish this 10. I'm pretty sure I will. I may even go back and get a repeat. That's to be seen. So far, the only cans I bought a repeat of is Stoker's Wintergreen and Copenhagen Extra Long Cut. Those are the only two I've bought repeats on. Everything else, I'm working my way through the cans that I have open. I took a stock. I'm ashamed to admit this, I have over 20 open cans right now. 23 to be exact. Plus I got like 5 bags of open chew. So yeah, I'm working my way through those. That number has been coming down, so you know, I'm either dipping more or I'm taking bigger pinches or I'm doing fewer reviews. I'm not quite certain. But you can probably expect out of me in the future um, 2 or 3 dip reviews like this that I do in the afternoons when I get home, and a couple of snooze or nasal snuff reviews that I usually do at my desk at work, because there's no dipping at work. So spit free products, I don't care. People use them. It's discreet. Nobody knows. But yeah, Grizzly Extra Long Cut Natural. Check it out. Be sure to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the content. I do appreciate it. Um, yeah, like and subscribe. It helps the channel. Um, More the merrier. We're all one big happy family here. I read all the comments. I try to answer as many of them as I can. I make no promises. I'll answer every single one because I'm getting more and more comments every day. So yeah, but like I said, I read them all. I try and answer as many as I can. If I don't answer you, don't take it personal. I'm just busy some days and I just can't quite get to everybody. So take care. If you like naturals, give this one a shot. This is Mikey. Catch you later.